Up, it's a brand new day. Got some things I need to say. Feeling heavy, you're not alone. Come take 5, you're in the zone. Voices calm, hearts that care. 2 good friends always there. Let the sunlight in your mind. Peace and hope you're sure to find. Well, take 5 with CJ and Jester. Talking truth and lifting pressure. Every Tuesday, 10 to noon, we're holding space just for you. Take a breath, take your time. We're here to realign your mind. Take 5, you're not alone. CJ and Jester bring you home.
A beautiful Tuesday morning to Grenada, Carriacou, Petite Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, Asia, Africa, Europe. Good morning to each and every one of you, and a special good morning to all our Take 5 fans and family. I think we've got Kenro online, so let me say good morning. Good morning to you, Kenro, and how are you?
I'm okay, and you?
I am good, thank you. And he's fine.
How is Jester?
I just say he's fine.
I don't know who you're speaking.
He.
You understand, Kenro? That one like you say, you know. Oh gosh.
I'm asking you how is Jester, so you could tell me something.
I know how he is. Ask him how he is.
Kenro, I'm there. I'm doing just fine. Thanks for the concern, man. I appreciate that.
Don't worry, now.
Well, who don't study with the girl? I mean, don't study the girl, you know.
See, they married where they gentlemen way, you know.
Yeah.
Not the call of there.
Hmm?
Where the people come out
My people?
and married.
Well, yeah. Go ahead. Run your mouth. My people come out your bodies. Yes. And love for tune. And love for
Oh, well, I don't know. I just asking.
No, I'm not
You know,
telling them.
people don't know place, so I just asking.
Right. Go ahead when you're ready.
Yes, this morning, Lord, we give you thanks. We thank you for putting each and every one of us to bed. We thank you for waking us up. We thank you for the breath you breathe into each and every one of us, our lives. Especially those who love to see the morning rising sun. This morning, bless the Lord, I bring the country before you. Remember, Grenada is in your hand, carry quantity master. But I remember the rest of this country, and I mean the whole world I bring before you this morning, blessed Lord. But I leave us not alone, but this our Lord, still support and comfort us. The purpose are rising fast and unfolding each and every hour, the body never disappears. To the ending of everything, you shall be the flowers, this our Lord. My God and my King this morning, Lord. Look down on the youth, what are the school children, what are the teachers, the principal, the security. I bring each and every one of them before you. The entire force this morning, Lord. Remember the FSU, Lord. Remember the RRU. Pass by our police station, this out, Lord. Look over each and every one. This send you the rough to them, they send you the stuff. What with you, Jesus, and the community. This morning, the Prime Minister I bring before you. Remember all the ministers, this our Lord, both male and female. Remember the opposition parties. Remember the ministers. Each and every one of them. Look down upon them with pity and compassion. Father, guide and protect them, this our Lord. Father God, lend them the hammer of love. To break down the stony heart, this our blessed Lord. My God, the case is in your hand. You could create and you can destroy. Father God, remember all those that lost their loved one. Pass by each and every one of them home this hour, Lord. But I know the sorrows, you know the pain. Remember the adults I bring before you this hour, Lord. But I pass by every youth, wheresoever they see them flashing, Lord, be in the midst of them. Lend them the hammer of love. But I break down the stony heart this hour, blessed Lord. But I remember the image in all different homes, I bring them before you. This our Master, remember all workers here and everywhere. This morning, blessed Lord, how could I tell you what you don't know? Try you cut in and give everyone a pit down below this hour, Lord. Father God, I know you it is not just to hear us when we call in you, Lord. Neither your eyes is not blind to give us a pit down below, Father, your feet is not too short. To meet all these children have to do with this hour, Lord. Father God, some are very stubborn hearted. But oh God, only the word of prayer, what could help that purpose this hour, Lord. But I bring that radio station before you this morning, blessed Lord. And I lift it up to you, each and every one of them that walking on that radio station this morning. I bring them before you. Father, you know them, Lord, better than I do. I cannot name them one by one, but you are convinced everyone before God. Bind them together, Lord. Remember, CJ before you this morning, blessed Lord. Remember that daughter she whom she left behind. Keep it in the act of 50, Lord. Church, bring up the body, with her body, look at guidance for them, Lord. Remember them this morning. I just like before you this morning, Lord. Father God, remember that son, remember the home he left behind. But I tell every one of them in that home, bless them if thou be so pleased. That will Satan turn towards them, don't allow Satan to match the healing that will do with too. But remember that son, touching from the crown of the head to the soles of his foot. Father, you make him what you want him to be and not what you want to be of himself. Guide him and protect him, Lord. Father God, keep him in the act of safety. Blessing him thou be so pleased. It might be some other most but Father said his blessing unto each and every heart. It's our Lord. Remember each and every village I bring before you this morning, Lord. Each and every one of them not forgetting the prison again, this our Lord. But I young and tender plan, Father, some are stand, some are sad, some are love they have, some are guilty, some are not. But this our master, you in the midst of them. You are the one who do the body every good. Teach them how to love and to unite and to understand each other, my God and my King. Father God, remember them this our Lord. You know, some heart burning, Lord. Some heart is in pain, Lord. But oh God, remember them this our blessed Lord. You say, leave them not alone, but still up it and comfort them. But I say, hear my cry. Hear my cry, is our blessed Lord. For our God, take everyone in charge. Remember my village and remember my people again, this our Lord. As I said, this I this our Father, I thought in heaven, only be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day bread. And forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Just not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For there is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen and amen. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Amen.
Thank you so very much. So you hear he's good now, right? So you don't have to ask me anything about him anymore, right? Right? Right.
Well, that's my job.
Oh, that's your job. Okay. Then I hope he's
No,
paying you.
I'm not walking
Oh, you're
to
not working.
walk.
Oh, I see. Okay. Just checking.
For me, checking to see whether you're right or you're all right. I mean, you
Okay.
too, but you know, I'm telling you, I love men.
Oh, okay.
Not perfect, but you know, I just love them.
I got you loud and clear, Mama. Oh, okay. You cannot say it any
Oh,
clearer than this.
That can hurt,
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very, very much. You have us laughing for the rest of the day. You
Oh
know that
gosh,
now,
yeah.
right?
Martha,
You take care now. Have yourself a great day.
later.
ah,
Okay then. Bye
bye.
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 Can only mad lady. Yes, so just it is Tuesday. Could you believe it is the 24th of February already? Four
Yeah,
more days and the month has come to an end.
of course I can believe it.
Yes. It was a busy February based on what I, think. But let me say good morning to who is on already on the line. Let me say good morning to Carol Belfon. Thank you so much for checking in. Haven't seen you for a bit, but thank you so much for checking in. Olovachi, buongiorno. Hope all is well with you. Lorna Debane, good morning to you. Are there into you? Mary, Chance the Game 97, is on the line and he says, good morning to CJ and Jester. Happy Tuesday to everyone who is listening to the Take 5. Mary from very cold Toronto. I know. I feel so sad that it is really cold out there. But as my daughter says to me, I says, Can, how are you making it out there? She says, Mom, this is Canada and it's winter. I said, okay. So I just rest my case.
Yeah.
It is winter. They're not born in it. It's like they grow up in the freezer. And but people like me and Mary and so on and Lorna that we're getting a bit on the weaker side of life. The cold is bad.
Yeah.
It is BAT. And New York is having the time of their life with it. It's burr. It's cold up there. It
Yes.
is. They had a blizzard. Was it Saturday? Yes, they had a blizzard on Saturday, and they had how many 3 feet of snow so far. Well, Spicer has been giving me play by play on the snow. Like,
Yeah.
because the snow following me everywhere I go from Canada to New York is snow. He says, poor Brooklyn. I said, you all cannot deal with it. That is the problem. If that snow that get fall in New York was in Toronto, I mean, eh, you know,
Uh,
we bad like that
very
over
good.
there.
One time.
Yeah. You know what I love about it? When it snows and they have to clear the snow, it's about 5, 6 plows coming on the highway, eh? And there's the stagger, so there's the one in front coming straight, the one on this side and the one on that side, and the cars are behind. So while they're pushing the snow out, traffic is behind. It is an amazing thing to see.
Yeah.
And let me take props again for Toronto and for Canada. Canada has the best de-icing system worldwide. I think Germany comes after this said. I don't know if they have snow in Germany, wherever. But Canada, when it's plane time to go, the plane has to go. All the this on the wing, the icing, we have the best. So, take heart, people. It's cold, but we're gonna get over it. Let me see, we're gonna be in March in 4, 5 days. Then April. April is the rainy season. May we should be starting to get into the warmer part of it, and then come June, July, everybody go, oh my gosh, it is so hot, and it is hot. When it's summer there, it is hot. It's like a stifling hot. It's hot here, but you have the sea breeze still. You have the wherever, but over there, heat in the place, as Arrow say.
Yeah.
So
Hot,
just
hot, hot.
hot, yes.
Yeah, man.
So just go ahead and say good morning to your people before I start to say good morning to mine.
Yeah. Garden Bushes Richardson. Leslie Nicholas. Yeah. Winted John Andy. Mus Bartholomew. Alistair Aito Dubwag. Good morning to Mrs. Glean and family out there in Boston. Yeah, I could imagine.
They're cold too.
Yeah,
They're cold too.
Very cold.
Oh,
place.
yes.
Yeah.
Boston and Chicago and those places.
Yeah. Good morning to Celia and family out there in Hill Street. Good morning to Justin Tutman and his wife. Yeah.
And Blue.
Yeah. Blue. Miss Gladys out there in Madis. Trisha. Good morning to you out there.
Kathy.
Yeah, Kathy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. London connection.
Michelle.
Michelle, that godchild in me. It was holiday. Good morning. Who else? Claire in Maho. Good morning to you.
Mary says the groundhog said 6 more weeks of winter. You believe in that kind of ugly thing? That groundhog doesn't even know what he's talking about. There's a thing, it's a groundhog. It's a little animal. And he lives under the ground. That's what they call it, the groundhog.
Mm.
And sometime in February or so, this month, if he comes up and he sees his shadow, that means we have 6 more weeks of winter. If he doesn't see his shadow, then we have a longer break of it. But I don't believe in that groundhog any crap, So, but they go by that. The groundhog sees shadow, so we have 6 more weeks of winter. So now we're in February. So maybe by the middle of April, winter should be saying hasta la vista, adios, goodbye, sayonara, everything. But let's see. I'll let you know. So let me say good morning to JG out there across the seas. Good morning to Faith and Holly Douglas, Bernadette Abraham, Coffee in the morning, Daphne Dayton family out there in TO. The Hill Street people, it's when it's nice you do it twice. The Glen family, from Jonah to all of actually again, NP, Lorna Bain. Junior up on the Grande Tang there, good morning to you. Mr. Nicholas Snag. Kenro, we already said good morning to Kenro. Bandy Chester David, good morning to you. Pat Pear and family. William Pear there in Toronto. SBW, good morning. Buddy in the lane, good morning to you. Kathleen Ledlow, Royal Charles Alexander. Maceo, good morning to you. Let's go good morning to Antonia Francois, Gloria Francois, Antonia Dubois, that is wifey Aito wife. Wifey Aito wife, yeah? Good morning to you, Aito Ted Bushes. Good morning to Justin. Wendy out there in Toronto, good morning to you. Good morning to the university under the...
Cashew tree,
Yes.
man.
Carl Belfon, good morning. Shadi Belfon. Nikki Sylvester. Bernard Leslie. Good morning to the elite warriors out there in the playground. Good morning to you guys. And we'll see this afternoon in, what would say again, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to move our body. So see you all at 5. Who else do we have to say good morning to, Jester? Anybody else? If it comes to us, comes to us, we'll say. Yeah. So, what's new and exciting in the land of sports?
In the land of sports.
Do you have to run away today again?
No,
okay.
Sports is on Thursday and Friday.
This Thursday and this Friday.
Yeah.
Where about again? Is it golf?
No. Thursday, please God, is Grenada SD Comprehensive at 4.
Mm-hmm.
And on Friday, it's River Sally Preschool at River Sally.
Okay. The one that you told me about went already in golf?
Western Games? No. That is on the 10th of March.
Oh, the 10th of March.
Tuesday, the 10th of March.
Okay. Yeah. So that day you have to run again?
Yeah.
Or is it starting? What time is it starting?
Well, between 12:30 and 1, somewhere that one.
You know that ain't happening, so you take your time. Well, I mean, that the ETA estimated time of what do you call it? Whatever, not ETA, ETT estimated time of start or TTS of starting. But you know that ain't happening because they said, oh, between 12 and 1 or 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock, the first gun and fire yet. So just and I keep saying it all the time. Time is going to kill us in this country. I'm telling you, it is going to kill us. Time is going to kill us. Not adhering to the correct time. Because you cannot tell me that I would leave my house to go to 4 at 12 because sports starting at 12 and 3 o'clock. I'm sitting in the stands waiting for the sports to start. That cannot be right, and that is very unfair to me. That's why you think I'm going to sports and so you're telling me about all kind of sports and I'm sitting right here and I'm not moving because I feel if I take my time and I go to sports, you're supposed to start at least, even if it's half an hour later you start, I'll accept that. But 2 hours and 3 hours, and in the middle of it you lapse, you don't even know what's going on? Heck no. I'm not doing that.
Okay, let me take the opportunity here to express my deepest condolences to Miss Listra Mark, her other siblings, other relatives and friends on the passing of her dad. I think his name is George Mark, right?
Where about he lives?
Some in Lamode.
Oh, Listra.
Listra is the principal of Rosal Infant.
Didn't her mom die?
Just sometime last year, yeah.
So did dad die now?
That's right.
That is grief, you know that, right?
That is like double jeopardy.
Whoa.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
it's been really tough.
Yeah, wow.
Tough.
That is like double whammy, like not too far away from, but it is grief. That's
tough,
this thing, yeah.
Tough times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand that Pat Barito died too. Yeah.
Star boy, yeah. He was a talented guy, Claire. You know that, eh? I don't know if you know of certain things about him, but Rasta Pat was really well he was a talented guy. I know for sure in the earlier times he was a good basketball player. Yes, play basketball. Yeah. He was kind of acrobatic too.
Yes.
Very acrobatic.
His leg is very capacity. Everybody between the leg. I think.
Acrobatic.
Yes.
And then when it comes to like crocheting, I remember he used to make
crochet or knit? There's a difference, eh?
Well, I don't
Which
know.
One
He used to make the berry and thing, the ice cream and gold.
So you used to
charm.
So you used to knit.
Right. Well, and he also used to make the belt.
He
was
used to
really neat on doing these things.
So he used to knit at me. He was neat at knitting.
Very good at it, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Hillary and Gonpot has checked in. He says, "Good morning, my beautiful family. Blessed day, guys." That's
Dudu.
Yeah, he went back.
I
saw him just the day before he went.
Dudu he carry on so much. I think he
pulled a muscle. I saw him. Yeah, he pulled a muscle.
Well,
So what did you do?
he
Oh,
was in the Twilight Games, man. He was
oh.
just having fun on
You
the
see when you
bleachers.
see when they starve themselves in the winter over so
And
I
then
said it loud and then they come here in the heat. They be about it's a snow for so I know. I know it's over. So did you wish that you were back here, honey?
yeah,
You really,
just
really
as
wish
much
that poor
wish he was here
thing.
still.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. All of I saw somebody wrote on Instagram that I just got back to Toronto and I really want to come back home already. So
Mhm.
3 hours ago. So yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It is. He said it was mad fun. He had mad fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see the thing is. I did it one time and I made an oath to myself never ever 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 to come home in December. Because let me tell you, when you live here in that nice warm sunshine and you step back into the ice freeze, I was depressed for weeks, just to let me tell you. I couldn't get myself together for a while because it was so cold and I'm like, I have to stay inside. And I'm like, why? Oh why? That is, Justin took money saying good morning, Jester. He has checked
Good
in.
morning to you,
Yeah.
Mr. Tootman. Yes.
So today, Jester, in the past, let's say 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks, we lost two young ladies due to violence at the hands of males.
Yeah.
And with just that two, and I'm saying that two for now, just that two, the whole of Grenada is grieving.
Certainly.
And it's like, what is happening
Excuse me.
to our little country, even though it's just two, which is too many.
Yeah.
What is happening? People are afraid, and it's not that anybody is attacking them in the public. Well, there was one, the one that killed the little girl, the 22-year-old. He was a nuisance to society when he killed the little girl. Everybody was afraid. Even me, I locked in my door and I'm inside by myself, which I never used to do. But the other one, they said it was a crime of passion, right?
Yeah.
So just these two alone has us all up in arms as to what is going on. So I decided to do a research on what causes some men to commit violence against women. And it may shock a lot of us to think of the things that cause some men to do that. I went to the World Health Organization. I went to the United Nations to do the research to get all of this experts on the thing that like why some men do the thing and it's not all men. That's why they say it's not
Some.
all women and it's not all men. It's some
Some.
men and some women. But today I am hoping that the people that are listening and looking has an open mind as to what we are talking about, because we are not targeting any, you know what I mean. We're not
Yeah.
targeting men per se and say, well, all men are doing this. No, some men, because not all men beat their wives, not all men strangle their wife to death, not all men, do all these abusive things to the significant other. Some. But this research is showing why it is that this happened, but it is encompassing all men or all women. So we're gonna take a shot at it this morning.
Okay, what I find myself doing ever since that happened, especially with Alejandra. It's an Alejandra let Hippolyte, the guy that raped and killed her,
Mhm.
and then that come and happen again in Tivoli. I've been trying to educate my people, especially my male folks.
So
You
we'll
know,
come to pass.
yeah, I use my platform, whatever platform that becomes available to me. I take the opportunity to somewhat advocate, and let men realize that woman is not
A punching
a piece
bag.
of
A
property
punching bag.
in such a way that you could just handle them in any kind of such way. You know, I've been, and you hear all sorts of comments. Some, to my amazement, even coming from the female side too, you will be shocked
I
to
know
hear
some
how
females.
some of
Yeah,
them
some females say
are
they look for
reasoning. I
it.
am amazed
Yes,
by
yes.
myself, in some of them.
So
And
let's start with
so
the young woman that died in Tivoli. It's alleged that she was living with this guy from the age of 14. Now, my
Yeah.
question is, where was her parents? At the age of 14, a girl's mind is not even made up to think clearly. Girls develop at the age of 18. The brain is fully developed at the age of 18. Boys are at the age of 21 and lately I had 24. So at the age of 14, you had this young woman, this young girl in your place living with. Okay? Now she's 18 right now, and at the age of 14, he was 34. So at the age of 18, he's now 38, right? Now her brain is fully developed. And she looked at you and she says, "You are what my father, or you could be my father." Now she's starting to gravitate towards people her own age that she can talk to, do the thing, the youth thing, the Gen Z thing. 18. Now I understand that because she's talking to her own age group, and I understand that he's a bus driver and his bus driver friends are telling him, "Man, the young," and I said it as I hear it, the young thing you have there, she's seeing other people, you're getting horn and you're getting this and you're getting that. He started to beat her up now. So she said she done. And we done, he done her. And I cannot stop asking the question, where were her parents at the age of 14 that you would let your daughter go stay with a man at the age of 34, unless it's a father?
I don't know. Well, sometimes when things happen, you hear all sorts of things.
Yes,
But
I'm
one
saying
of
that
the
I said
things
I'm
that I
hearing.
heard, one of the things that I heard also is that her mother put her out. Had, had put her out.
Okay, so her mother
I
put
don't know
out,
for whatever reason.
maybe the mother put out, yes, but there are no other relatives that could have saved her from the mother putting out or something. She ended up with this guy. And what I'm hearing again is that he sent her to school. Like he invested, he invested in her. So it's like, okay, I did all that. I sent you to school. I buy your books. I feed you. I give you clothes. And so now you want to tell me you're done? Not on my watch.
Yeah, which is foolish.
It is wrong on all counts. And here is my other question.
And without cutting you, did it say at age 14? So it means
14.
That means he would have
Statutory
been
rape.
a
Statutory
pedophile.
rape. And I asked that question. I said, how come nobody reported or nobody did anything to see that young girl staying with this man at the age of 34? The answer I got shocked me, but it is true. If nobody reported that this was taking place, no police cannot go arrest that. And because nobody reported, so nobody know that he's committing statutory rape at the age of 14. You know? And let me tell you, I don't even know how to think anymore. Honestly, I do not know how to think. Because, and let me tell you, Jester, there are lots, and I'm stressing a lot of mothers that does that to their children. They don't put them on. They send them and as Alira say, make fears with older men and all kinds of things to get money for them. Do you see they old already? They body old, they no longer looking attractive, just as myself. You be no longer looking attractive to people. So they send their younger, innocent child to beg for money and so. But you have no idea what you're doing to your child. And this is why we are talking about that today. What causes some men to commit violence against women? And it is not just in Grenada, Jester. It is a worldwide thing. And that's why I said to you, I went to the World Health Organization and I went to the United Nations. And it starts by saying violence against women is one of the most frequent human rights violations. It is a threat to women's lives. It puts their physical and psychological health at risk. And it is a threat to the well being of their children. Violence against women has consequences for society as a whole. The perpetrators can be found in every social and economic settings, and most of them are male. That's why we are saying some male, not all male, because the people like Doodoo So and you and my husband and all those people that I know that are good fathers to their children. I cannot put them in that same bracket unless you lose your mind.
Yeah.
Or unless you lose something. And people like Mary. Mary has a daughter and he love his daughter because she looks so much like him. You know? But thank you so very much. you know, yes, there are men like that that protects their children regardless, and that's why some of them will do whatever they do and go to the judge and say, "Do whatever you want with me after that," because there are pedophiles and perpetrators out there that prey on young women. We're talking about women today, violence against women, and a lot of guys may be saying, "Well, there are men that go through violence, go through violence too." I understand that totally. I am going to deal with you on another day because it is different information that we are going to be getting based on violence against men linked to violence against women. So, just what I read, what I'm going to read, it was very staggering to me. And I took this from United Nations. Every day, every day, 137 women are killed by the partner or a family member. And 1 in 3 women worldwide have experienced intimate partner violence in their lifetime. While violence against women remains a persistent global problem, many continue to view it only as an individualistic issue or the actions of some bad men. However, the widespread nature of the problem indicates that violence against women is also a collective social problem rooted in the widely held social norms surrounding masculinities. Socially constructed notions about how men behave and, importantly, are expected to behave in specific settings to be considered real men. To understand why some men perpetrate violence against women, and to its end, it and to end it, we must uncover and address the drivers that lead to such behavior and move beyond the discourse that simply attributes to individual actions of some bad men. And I'm liking the way they're putting some bad men. So, could it be that while we are speaking right now, a woman is dead? Or being
Or
killed,
could be dying.
or could be dying while we are speaking here right now.
But
This is staggering.
that's very high.
And it could be more. Based on when the study was done, it could be more than 137 that is dying every day. So, driver one, the norm that real men are breadwinners. And we hear that every single day, Jester. Real men. The men are breadwinners. So they have to go out there and work, bring the money home for their wives, or whoever it is that they bring the money home, because that's the norm. That's how they are growing up. It's a culture thing, right? It says masculine norms are diverse and can be harmful and restrictive, like those associated with toxic masculinity or gender equitable and flexible. The critical issue is that some masculinities promote very rigid understandings of what it means to be a real man, thus putting pressure on men and boys to live up to the ideals of a socially constructed idea of manhood. Right? Indeed, the men who accept and internalize these norms are more likely to commit violent acts. One such ideal is that real men have to be breadwinners and financial providers for their family. In fact, this is one of the strongest and the most universal social expectations that societies have for men. You're a man. I have I have a son. I had a dad. I talk to men, and everybody have it in their mind that men are the breadwinners, and that's it, bar none.
Yeah, but that to me clear
Mm-hmm,
over the let's say 30, 40 years,
mm-hmm,
that has changed drastically.
mm-hmm.
A woman's place in the home is, to me, is no longer exists. And if you really look around, you would see that some of the top positions in institution these days
It's
are
held by
being
women,
is held by women. If you just go around the schools, for example, and
principals
you look at how many females
that are
as
principals.
compared to male teaching in that institution, you would realize what I'm talking about. When you look at a number of homeowners, and I applaud women for changing the whole kind of perception as to this thing about the women's
Remain life is
places
in
in
the
the home.
home, yes.
Yeah, a lot of young women are owning their homes and things now, Claire. Some of the poshest ride, I would say, you see now being driven around the place is women pushing these rides and everything. You're clear. I mean, when you really look around, you understand. So this thing about like men, you have a lot of women out there working. As a matter of fact, a lot of women working and taking care of the home even more than men
But a lot of
in
women are
some instances.
single and they have no
And yeah,
choice.
that's it.
They have no choice but to look after themselves and look after their homes because you're going to see why it is like that. It says data from the European Union of 20 countries shows that in 2017, 43% of respondents declared that the most important role of a man is to earn money, and up to 80% said, and up to 80% said so in Bulgaria, for example. Moreover, in 2016, in Azerbaijan, that's the word, the African Azerbaijan, a majority of men declared that a man who does not have an income is of no value. Right?
Yeah.
You get it. So here is the part again where the man is supposed to be the breadwinner.
Well, of course, I don't think that will ever change.
Right. But then
Not at all.
if he's not doing that, they're saying that he's of no value.
Yeah.
So what do we expect? What does society expect him to do? Right? So we'll continue. It says in driver number 2, these are the drives that they say that causes men to act the way they do, some men to act the way they do. The norm that real men have the final say at home. The belief that real men are breadwinners reinforces another central norm of restrictive masculinities, that they must earn more than their partners and have the final say in household decisions, including, importantly, financial choices. As society changes and evolves, the traditional role of men and women, for instance, that men work for pay and women care for the home, are being increasingly challenged. Women's economic empowerment and success in the economic sphere is making it more difficult for men to live up to this ideal of manhood marked by financial dominance. In fact, about 37% of respondents in 49 countries declared that if a woman earns more money than her husband, it is almost certain to cause problems. And this figure was as high as 50% in Bangladesh, Bolivia, Egypt, Indonesia, Iran, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Mexico, Myanmar, Nigeria, Pakistan, and Zimbabwe. These are all the countries, right?
Yeah.
That the 37% of people in those countries. When men cannot prove their masculinity, for example, by out earning their spouse, violence can emerge as a way to seek recognition as real men and reaffirm their dominance. Now, Peter Phillip from Toronto sent a message. I love your show because you take time to explain real everyday issues in real time. Thank you so very much. This is what we try to do. Natalina Buddy says, good morning, CJ. Just have yourself a wonderful day. Just stop, fix your face.
What's wrong with my face?
It's better now you're smiling.
Well, I can always smile.
Yeah, you got to look pleasant.
No.
You're on candid camera. Thank
Claire,
you so much, Peter.
you know people that just laugh out like that. But I mean,
Yeah. So you see, Jester, it is said in those countries, 50%, if their wife or their spouse is making more money than them, what's that, And it's not only in those countries, everywhere in the world that a man is making less money than his wife or a significant other, problems in the home.
But why that should be though?
Huh?
Why that should really
Because dominance, Men are the dominant figure
In
in
the
the
home.
world, and in your home, right? And if he is not making more money than me, that means I am wearing the pants now, as they say, literally wearing the pants and figuratively wearing the pants. And I could make certain decisions that you don't have to give me permission to make. So in order to keep me under, in subjection, to be submissive to you, I'm not supposed to be making more money than you because I, the man, I am the breadwinner. And there's no wrong there saying that you are the breadwinner and making more money. But I look at it as this, yes. If I have a husband, right? Good morning to you, Nicholas. Thank you for checking in. I have a husband. Or I'm using, you are my husband. People, that are not going to happen anytime soon, anytime at all. Eh? But you are my husband. Fix your face. I'm talking to you as my husband now. Smile.
Girl, just go ahead and say the thing. I tell her already, I don't know if you know why you're using me name as example.
Okay. You're the one sitting in front of me. You are my husband. You're working and I'm working. But based on how I perform in the job that I am in, I may get a raise every now and again and lift up the salary that I make, what I take home, right? I come to you with a $2,000 more than what you make, and this is what it is. I look at it as it is our money, yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
because we are doing it for the good of our home
That's what I
and
find.
our family. So I look at it as a female, but you, as the husband, well, what? How come Claire could be making more money than me? I am supposed to be the one that is making all the money and giving her money to do this. And there the animosity starts. It becomes a jealousy thing,
Yeah, but the thing about it,
Tell me.
I agreed what you're saying, right?
Hmm.
Especially if you're thinking strictly along those lines and the way you have seen it. And that, to me, that's how it's supposed to be. However, not all women would behave in such a way. It may come with an attitude. And I believe that way might tend to have the problem.
You see the
In
word
the,
called common sense? It says everybody has sense, but common sense is not common, right? And a lot of us think what? Because I would think that if it's I okay, so you're gonna tell me we were struggling on $2,000 a month to pay all the bills, to make groceries, to do everything that we have to do, right? And I come with another $2,000. You would tell me that let us struggle with the $2,000 because you are the breadwinner. We're going to be hungry certain days instead of taking the $2,000 that Claire adds to it so that we can have a good life. And I cannot come with attitude saying, well, you know what? My $2,000 is in there now. I could buy whatever I want. No, because if you're doing it as a family, coming together, it should be productive and not the other way around. So if there are a lot of us as women are out there doing this and acting that way, knock it off because you're
yeah,
not doing yourself a favor.
I
Because
believe that
let
way
me
the
tell
problem
you,
usually comes.
yes, knock it off. You're not doing yourself a favor because if you end up out of that relationship that you have, you divorce your husband and you find somebody else in your life, you will do the same thing and you'll be forever moving unless you get it that this what you're doing doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I believe that's where the problem comes along with some, because some women realize, well, boy, they've been bringing in more on the table that they feel they could, carry on, and sometimes they insult the man, they embarrass him at times, and these things do happen.
Yes, but
Okay,
mind you,
these things,
with all that being said, there are some men that take laziness as a profession,
yeah, well,
right? They don't
they go
they
wrong.
don't work. Or if they work minimal and then they come home and they abuse their wives, they commit violence against their wife because they find that the wife is making headway and they are not. So that too can cause violence. And if I'm bringing in money to look after us and you beating me up, of course I'll have attitude. I'm cooking and I ain't giving you meat.
Oh, oh gosh.
I think as okay. So, Dugo, if you're listening, I think we're saying that Spectrum is saying that the audio is too low. So I'm gonna send Dugo a message and let him fix it for me, please, because I can't get off right now. Can you do that for me, please? Just send a message to Dugo, say fix the audio because it's too low. I didn't touch anything on the board this morning, so it cannot be on my end here. Maybe it's the audio from the back. Ask Dugo to fix it for us, please. Thank you very much. Yes. So if you have to look at it on all sides, the men that are who are not doing anything much to make their life better, and the wife or the spouse is making more money, there will be problems, Jester. Because I cannot be slaving away to come home and bring money to make our family better, and you're beating me up. That's not supposed to work. We have a caller coming through. Let's see. Hello. Let me see. Caller when. Okay. Let's see. Good morning to you, my good friend.
Good morning to you, Claire.
How are
Good morning,
you?
Jester.
Good morning to you, sir.
I'm good. I'm good. Why you
Yes.
sounding so downbeat, Jester?
Who is that?
We're talking about him.
Why you
Talking
sounding so
about
downbeat?
me?
Who's talking about you?
That's what she's trying to say, you see? She trying to
Yeah,
put the negative
exactly,
against me,
exactly.
right?
Don't let that happen. That will
Yeah.
never happen.
How would that go
I'm
happen?
I'm your I'm your wicket keeper. I'll protect your wicket.
Yes.
Go for it.
Good morning, guys, and good morning to your listeners and viewers. Um, Claire, timely topic in the sense of what happened recently in our society, and don't need to reiterate it. So give it more publicity than it deserves. But the topic this morning, Claire, this is resonating with me tremendously. And for me, I my daughter is studying psychology. She's about to graduate with her master's, and she has exposed me to so many things that sometimes I want to close my mind's eye to it, but I can't. Um, the reference that your study is referencing is so clear that it has been some dramatic shift in society, and I don't think um, the whole society, all the different societies in the world, has adapted to it. We are at a stage where most of the men still believe in the alpha male um, theory, which has been debunked so many times that a male's supposed to be this and supposed to be that, and where, in a matter of fact, the society has gone way past that. Yeah. Um, let me just drop some quick shifts that happened in Grenada that a lot of people haven't paid attention to. You remember when we adjusted? I'm not sure Claire is aware of it. Um, do you remember when we used to have all these offshore companies in Grenada?
Yeah.
Yes. The majority of the employees that they employed were women,
Okay. Yeah.
right? And their salaries were substantially more than the men in the society at the time. Why? Because these women came out of school and took their studies to the next level and were qualified in things like accounting, bookkeeping, customer service, and all of those things that was required in that industry when they came into Grenada. And these women were making substantial amounts of money. That changed a lot of things. Yeah? Think about it for a minute. Most people at the time was earning less than $1,000 a month. You see, when that whole industry started, that earnings tripled or even quadrupled for them. So imagine what that looks like now. Just
Yeah.
you, you dating a fellow that is making maybe $1,000, $2,000 a month. You bringing in four or five. What does that do for what
I
does
know.
that do for your psyche? That's a huge change.
Yeah.
Now, just down the road, we have Princeton University. The majority of the employees there are what? Women.
Hmm.
The salary. there again is not the same as what we have. Everything has changed,
Oh yes.
dramatically shift. And that was 20 years ago, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's now continuing. The pace of it have accelerated now. Because why? The males are not staying in school, getting qualified
Mm-hmm.
to get the jobs that are paying that amount of money. And now that we have now integrated in a regional thing, so now you don't have to be working in Grenada to be earning that salary. You be living in Grenada, but that's not what you're working for, or who you're working for is two continents away, and you are earning that amount of money. So that dynamics Claire is talking about is a dramatic shift in our society. Yeah.
Oh
Now,
yes.
I don't I don't know the background of what happened the other day, but you have now where these alpha males who are now deciding that I am going to use my economic power to dominate because that's what I can. But there's a that segment of people that they can dominate is greatly shrinking fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so it's a pressure cooker happening all at the same time. Now, as Claire eloquently put it, when all those pressures come together, the one thing that comes back and that so-called dominant male have is a physical thing now. Yeah, it's no longer economical; it's a physical. I
Yeah.
can slap you into next week and all of these different things, and that's what happens. So now I was listening to a sermon from Pastor Simon. I mean, it's on the internet, and he was telling the young ladies, "Why are you expecting these type of behavior from these men? They're not working. Yet still, you're working, and you're giving him $2,000 a month to run around with. Do what? What is he doing? He's doing absolutely nothing." And I'm saying, really? Is that really happening?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And believe it or not, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not condemning anybody for what they like. That's you between you and whoever you decide to be with as a partner. But I am concerned that these things are continue to happen, and these are hard conversations we need to have as a society. How are we going to manage this thing?
Oh yes.
If we allow it to continue on the path that is on, um, we're gonna start having um, all kinds of disruption. Uh, how do we increase right now? How do we increase our population if we all are going with same sex? How is that going to happen?
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
If we continue down this path, we need to have a social shift of how males and females interact, and I think part of if I'm wrong, you can challenge me, and I think part of the issues is that we have a lot of it here in our societies where some of the biggest schools or the best named schools that people want to go is basically males and females.
Yeah.
They don't mix.
No, they
They
don't.
don't mix,
No.
right? So then when we get out into the
Society.
so-called other schools, there are mixed. And I think there, but just so you also pointed something out that I found that we should really take some time to address. The majority of the teachers in those schools are young women.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Yes.
think
Yeah.
I strongly believe we need to get more males teaching in the schools that can show proper empathy, emotional intelligence, and be able to, from the primary school, come up. I'm not saying it has to be all, but at least 50-50. Right now, the scale is totally tilted in the
80
female direction.
20. 80
But listen
20.
listen to me, yes, sir. I am very concerned, and I am seeing it that young men are in danger, really and truly. If you ask me how I feel, and I remember Crocketter sang a song some years back where the young men gone, and he was seeing that slippery slope, and we still continue along that line. Don't wonder why that the females are the one that's stepping up, because What is happening from a school point of view? The young men, they are walking with a pack of card in their bag.
Thank
Gambling
you.
is a serious thing. Whereas
Yes,
the
it is.
females are the one that taking the education much more serious. It's just the harsh reality. What is confronting us? And we
Yeah,
probably need to go on some serious sensitization drive as to change the course and action of our young men in our society.
it is very true. It is very true, and the statistics will bear you out that males drop out way more than the females. Males will get into more deviant behavior than the female. And that does not say the females don't do it.
Oh,
Eh?
they
They
do.
Yeah.
do.
They do.
They do.
Hmm.
Yeah. So uh, for me, um, in to combat the whole violence thing, that is a whole societal thing. That's not just individual.
No.
I mean, you can start with individuals having open and honest conversations that may not be comfortable for a lot of people. But like I said, because sometimes the male in that situation, he reverts to the one thing that he knows he has. He doesn't have the economic powers of the female. He may not have the academia of the female, but he has the physical. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we all know, the physical can overplay the others in a drastic way.
Yes. Yes.
This is how they control the slaves back in the day. This is how the tyrants in a dictatorship will exert control on thousands of citizens, right? By using the physical to make you fall in line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with that now, I think in society we have to start having open and honest conversations about what we see our society is, and it cannot be government. Yes, government can set policy. Just as they say, the speed limit on the road is 40 kilometers or 40 miles an hour
Mm-hmm.
on the outside of the city. How many people drive at 40? Okay,
That.
oh my God, I get into 40, I need to slow down. No, you press harder on the right foot and you're gone.
Yes. Like when you're going to Buffalo and you pass through that straight going and it's speed you're going to until the OPP catch you. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So here it is that I believe, that a lot of people don't really have any sense of character or who they self is. Because for me, the test is, okay, this is the right thing to do. There's nobody looking. I don't have to do it. Yet
Mm-hmm.
still, I choose to do it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Next Christmas, nobody's watching. Who the ass is that? I want to do something else. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when it starts to break down. So we need to be able to have build young people with strong character, strong sense of themselves. So when they get out there and they start being exposed to all these things, that they can make good choices and good decisions about in their life. You in a relationship, it's gone south, it's gone bad. She's found somebody or he's found somebody else and then moved on. Okay, that is okay. You do the same thing. You do the same thing. You move on yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that sense now, you now have a sense of balance of where that is. But if you don't know and you just want to react with your um, physical now, you're no longer using your intelligence side of things. You're not thinking things through. You're not rationalizing things through. You're just emotionally reacting. And I think that's where a lot of our problems lie. A lot of us react with emotions instead of actually taking a minute and stop and say, well, why am I so angry? And analyzing why, understanding it and react in that manner. I really and truly hope as a society we start looking at how we can now mitigate against these things because it's not getting any better. And as you can see, that young woman died in a brutal manner. I
Yes.
can't even I can't
Yeah.
even imagine
Yeah. You and me both.
myself being that angry to actually do that to
Yeah.
someone.
You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like caveman style thinking.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's
So
why everybody is saying what is happening to our little country, because we've never seen that level of violence against someone like that.
in such a brutal
Brutal way.
manner.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. You understand? So, to me, I see this as the wake up call for the society, the canary in the mind telling you there's gas down here. We need to take care of this.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
So let's pay attention to the canary singing and start taking action so that we can now make where we live a different place. Now, I can't speak for all men, and I will not do that. But I think as men, we need to take a strong stock of ourselves, how we portray ourselves to our children, both male and female, and how we project ourselves both to the females, right? Now, there's the other side of society where parents really don't, to me, don't care for the children. Because if you can expose your child to certain things, then you have to be able to stand the consequences of it when it comes back home. Because if there's so many stories out there, Claire, you'll make your hair turn grayer than it is
Oh,
right
oh,
now.
who said my hair was gray?
Salt and pepper.
I salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll accept that. I'll accept that. Salt and well, a little bit more salt than pepper,
there
but
you go. Right.
at the
Yes.
end of the day, we really and truly need to start paying attention to how we treat our children, how we treat our boy children, how we treat our girl children, understanding and let them know that there's there's differences between one and the other, but at the end of the day, we are both human beings that need to be treated with respect and dignity.
Thank you
And
so
once we
very
get to that
much.
point, we will be in a better place.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you
sir, my
so
boy,
very
I
much.
got your back. Don't worry
Yes,
about it. I won't let that stump
I
you.
know that.
I won't let that stump you out, Justin.
I know that.
Alrighty,
I
thank you
know
so
that.
very much. And if you need to call back, you can call back, because I mean this is a really powerful topic that we're talking about this morning. Take care.
Oh, great.
Okay.
You
Right.
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Lovely. Bye bye. Clever. The thing about it, I think we need to get to the root causes of this whole thing. And what I
Which whole
realize,
thing?
well, what leads
Oh,
to the whole violent acts of some men against women? Because to me, it I seen it that the to take care of the problem, it must start at a very young age in the home.
okay.
And we have had such a breakdown in our society in many regards. To me, that is helping to lead to that kind of thing.
You
So,
know where it starts, Jester? In
yeah,
our culture. Culture, norms, and attitudes is where it starts. Because take, for example, countries like Azerbaijan and Iraq and Iran and all those other places. Men dominate the scene, yes? And from their young age, they are portrayed as I am the, what do you call it, the big hefe.
mm,
I know who, you have to listen to me. You have no right. Take, for example, in Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and so women weren't allowed to drive
yeah,
for
no,
a while, but the
mm,
men can. Now I think it has
yeah,
changed a bit that they can drive. So it is in the culture, and if you have started in a culture where from the time you were that or nay high, this is what you're told. This is how you have to act. Then this is what you grow up doing. So it's in the culture, because it says cultural attitudes that excuse or promote violence against women play a significant role. In many cultures, traditional gender roles dictate that men should be dominant and competitive, while women are expected to be submissive and nurturing. These stereotypes can lead to the normalization of violence as a means of asserting power. And there you have it. It starts with how you were grown up, which part of the world you were born and grow, and everything like that. And even here, right here in Grenada, Jester, you hear people say, "Oh, my cocklet, go hold your hand," or "Boys will be boys." And when they say my cocklet, when you look at the cock and hen, if you pay attention to those cock and hen in your yard, you see a cock coming from nowhere with all the hen. He ain't even asking, can I? He just jump on a hen head and he doing whatever he want to the hen. and then he jump on another one, and so this there from there even in the animal kingdom, which is the chicken that we're talking about. This is why display, because the cock is the king of the yard.
Yeah.
And then when they say boys will be boys, most parents are saying, "Oh, I let my cock go hold your hand." So then the boys can go there and do anything they want to young women with no consequences at all, no repercussions or anything, because this is what they are expected to do. And that is so wrong on all fronts. So this is where it starts. And as I go back here, where it says men, where they talk about men, the masculinity, for example, if they out on in and the spouse on in more, violence can emerge as the way to seek recognition of real men and reaffirm their dominance. It also continues to say, moreover, the rigid expectation that real men are breadwinners and financially dominant, when internalized by men, often leads to them to view their job as a reflection of their self-worth, prioritize work over other things such as a family life, and to feel shame when they're out of work or underemployed. So if they lose their job or the thing, the self-worth takes a beating. And then who takes the beating after that, you think?
The woman.
The wife and the children. Don't leave out the children. Because when they start beating the wife, some they might have children and say, "Oh, daddy, please leave mommy alone," and so the children get a share too. So it is a domineering thing that some men has, that if they're not doing the way they well as they ought to, then they lose their status as a real man or a dominant man, and then that's where the violence starts. They said a study conducted in India in 2009 showed that 30% of men reported that they were frequently stressed or depressed because of not having enough work. And a similar percentage said they sometimes felt ashamed to face their family because they were out of work. Importantly, those men who indicated having one or both of these experiences were almost 50% more likely to have committed violence against their female partner. Even when women do choose to leave abusive partnerships, the expectation that real men are financially dominant and control household assets create roadblocks. Where these norms are widely accepted, women lack access to and decision making power over important assets. Indeed, legal frameworks even promote this. In 30 countries, the law does not provide married women with the same rights as married men to own, administer, and make decisions over property and other non-land assets. This is a critical issue to access to resources such as income and employment are predictors for women leaving abusive partnership. So again, if the man feel that he's not making enough money to be classified as the real dominant man, and his wife or girlfriend or whoever is making a little more money, her life is in danger. It is in real danger because he cannot dominate her anymore by saying, "Hey, I'm the man of the house, what I say goes," because she's making a little more and she might be independently buying things what she wants, and that causes problems. And even if they leave that relationship in some countries, they still cannot survive because, again, the next person that they may go to is another dominant figure. So it's a real issue that we are going through in this world with male dominance, where some men use violence, they commit violence against the women because they feel that they're inadequate. And this should not be. As you said, and as Nicholas um, reiterated, that when you look at the schools, most of the people in the schools are women,
And by
female.
far, he's talking
Yes.
about like around 95% females.
But then here
so,
it is.
so it's not a small percentage.
There are a few young men around here where I live. And I look at them going to school most days. And then I see them drop out. And there are a few of them, those that I pull them up, and I'm like, what gives here? Just last week I pulled up one, I says, "You tell me, why did you leave school?" But Miss Claire, I said, no, Miss Clemmy, I'm asking you a question. Why did you leave school? And you're out on the road playing the fool every day, you're riding a bicycle, you're smoking, why did you leave school? And he said to me, I am going back. I said, when and where? He said, I'm going to Newlow. I said, when? He said, in June. I said, to do what? He said, it's construction. And I said, I'll be over your ass like white on rice. You got to go back to school. Because these are things that cause women to be where they are. Because very, very little of women leave school or drop out of school. And again, a lot of the boys that we see, they don't read just that the reading has become null and void to them. And if you look at most women, you see they're always women are always reading, the majority of us. So this is why our education go further than a lot of the males. And they drop out and they go and they sit on the side of the road and they smoke and they get on and they tease you when you're passing and all this kind of thing. That is not making any sense. Because at the end of the day, what do you have to show for it? More than you going and you're abusing your girlfriend or something.
So that person that drop out of school is about how much?
I don't think it's 20s, in late teens.
Because I think school, they have extended the age for you to be at school now. I think it's up to 18 now.
Maybe he's in that realm.
It used to be 16, I think.
So that is it. You see, when they drop out of school, as you say, they walk into the cards in the back and they're gambling and all that. You don't see us as women. You will see us with most young girls with phones in their hands and so, but you wouldn't see them with cards going and gamble or anything like that.
No,
and chances that they meet up with, they form a group where they could talk about different things and push themselves forward. And Nicholas made a point. He said Pastor Simon speaking about why these young women giving men like $2,000 and they're not getting any. And these are the ones just that end up in violent act,
Yeah, because when they go back for it and they go to make demands again and they
can't get it.
Yeah.
That's when they get violent. I need it, and by the time I go on the street and come back, you need to have it.
That happened.
Yeah. But again, we're young women or women have to be careful who we put ourselves in relationships with.
Yeah.
Because they all come nice and hunky dory, because they want what they want until they get there and they get you and it's not working for you anymore. So it's them. They do not have money, they're not working, but you are the ones that's supposed to give it to them and you can't give it to them, and then you end up with a broken arm, a broken shoulder, or broken something, scratches on your face and all this kind of thing. There's a comment, sometimes the man has more than one homes, which that they have to take care of. That for me is a big problem, which is true. A lot of men, they don't just have one somebody in their life. They have one, they have two, they have three, and they're like the traveling merchants of Venice. They're going from home to home, and that money that you make at the end of the month, you have to share it in 4 homes. Because not only do you have that, but you have a child in each of those homes, and each of the child needs to be maintained on a monthly basis. So by then, when you look at the $2,000 you get, and you have to give $500 to this one, $400 to this, and then you end up with nothing, and you say, I cannot even go buy a drink on the block. So you're getting angry, and you're starting to beat up the person so that they could ask you to make you go. You understand? Or to do something. But you have to, as you say, you have to get some sort of intervention into the minds of our young men. Because they're the ones, you're saying that we are losing them, but they're the ones that are causing themselves to be lost, Jester.
Well, of course.
It's not no fault of the women,
No.
It's they're the ones that's causing themselves to be in that situation.
Yeah. It's a sad thing what happening in our society these days. Serious breakdown within our society.
Let's take a quick break and then we'll come back to driver 3.
Oh, wake up, it's a brand new day. Got some things I need to say.
Grenada, get ready as Idol City Sports presents its 6th annual Football on the Lights competition. Roselle Plainfield in St. Patrick. Kicks off from Sunday, February 15 and ends on Saturday, 2nd May. Get ready for intense football competition. All teams will be able to register 20 players. Players must be in uniform and numbered. Registration fee, senior $400. Under 17 enters free. Cash prizes up for grabs. First place winner in the senior category will walk away with $4,000. And the first place winner in the under 17 category walks away with $1,800. Second place, $3,000. And under 17, $1,500. Plus individual prizes. Who will dethrone the defending champion? Frenchtown Football under the lights. For more information, contact Redhead at 538-7509 or Philip at 406-9580. No unauthorized vending allowed. Single game will be played on Wednesdays from 6:30 p.m. and doubleheader games on the weekend.
Are you looking for that one local supermarket where you can purchase all your grocery and household items at the same time? Well, look no further. Smart Buy SA Belfon and Company Limited, located at the top of the town on Main Street, St. Patrick, is the ideal spot. They're open Sunday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturdays, and 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Sundays, just for your convenience. Call them today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. We're shopping snacks at Smart Buy.
At Sugar's Repair Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473 418
Welcome to Take 5,
1845.
your mental health
Sugar's
program
Repair Services.
with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.
And we are back. And Jester, we're going to driver number 3, where it says, the norm that real men are strong and repress their emotions. And this is a big thing. A lot of men do not say what's on their mind. They keep it inside. And then, you know what happens afterwards. He says another important piece of this issue is the fact that most societies expect men to be strong and refrain from expressing their emotions. As such, men are left with few socially limited outlets, while anger and violence are simultaneously often accepted reactions from men and boys. This means that violence against women and intimate partner, violence specifically, can emerge as an outlet for the emotions and frustrations men feel when they are unable to live up to society's restrictive expectations. This also means that macro changes, such as the COVID-19 crisis, have the potential to destabilize the lives of men by making it more difficult to live up to the demands and restrictive masculinities, thus provoking violent reactions. In fact, emerging evidence has shown increasing reports of violence against women since the outbreak of the pandemic. And this is so true because during the pandemic, Jester, a lot of families, men and women that lives together, they're in the home, they have children. Now they go to work separately and they come home in the evening separately. Some of the men, when they finish work, they go to the rum shop, they hang out with their buddies, they drink their alcohol or whatever, they hang out, and then they go home and go to bed. They did not have to cohabitate with their significant other so much. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we were under lockdown all over the globe. And this has forced a lot of men to spend time with their family at home, which they were not used to and which they weren't doing at all. So you know what happened there?
It results in a lot of violence, domestic violence. Yeah.
Just violence against women totally. I know in France, they said 30% they had to rent hotel rooms to separate a lot of families because of the abuse that was going on there. So, under certain circumstances, things like that take place because there is no outlet for them because the men hold it inside. And it's like, as Nicola said, it's like a pressure cooker waiting to just blow. So, when we keep things inside and not say anything, any little thing like a little spark sets off a volcano inside of us. Some men. There are men that can think things through and question themselves. Does it make sense that I'm doing this? If I hurt her, would I feel sorry later on? When I end up in prison for doing that, am I better for it? Am I free? We got to question ourselves before we do this. Although it is said that when we're in the process of doing this, we lose our mind. We go through a mental state. That's where the thin line between sanity and insanity. But a lot of the things that takes place, Jester, it didn't just happen. Just like Claire coming and Claire have a gun, or Claire have a knife, and Claire is defending herself, or Jester is defending himself. A lot of it is premeditated.
Yeah. Because, yeah, that's what I thought, especially in that last
Yes.
situation. Even someone saying she had taken the bus, that the first bus that passed. And I always say, clear bad intention is bad intention.
Yes.
No matter what.
Exactly. So when they sit there and they think, well, she said she don't want me, I'm gonna show her. Nobody wants her after I'm finished with her.
Yeah.
So then they throw acid on you. In India, they're famous for throwing acid on women. They throw it in your face so that nobody.
Yeah.
We're not having any sound. They're walking. We're walking on the song there, so they're not having any sound. Let me write a comment. The voice in the system. Yes. So when they sit there and they're thinking, she says she doesn't want me. I don't want her. Nobody else going to have her because I am the one that made her who she is today. As Miss St. Louis say, it is premeditated and carefully orchestrated. So when those suckers does that and they go to the jail, they're not supposed to see any daylight out of what it is. Because there's a difference if you're doing it for self-defense, Jester. Somebody's coming at you and you have to protect yourself. But when you do it in that way, and you do it and you go somewhere else, you go to somebody else's home and you sit there as though nothing happened. I call that criminal without a heart,
Yeah, the guy, oh boy. Sad is what happening in the society. Very, very sad.
So that's, yeah.
The thing is that this thing come and happen now, and then a lot of people been speaking out, they get caught up in the burst of emotions, and after about 8 days,
it's gone. It is gone.
What do we do? We tend not to tend to try to address the root causes of this thing. And there is just so much breakdown in our society within the past 20, 30 years that is helping for these sort of things to happen more prevalently,
And listen to me. I am not saying what the guy did is not right on any front whatsoever. But some of the young women that are in society, Jester, have to check themselves also.
Yeah.
We cannot want the $1,400 cell phone, and we cannot want to go to the hair salon and the nail salon every week, and we cannot want to go to the shows that are coming whenever they come, and we do not have our own money to do this. When you take yourself and you go to men and and slave yourself for just the money to do these things. They too want reciprocation. And if you continue to do this, you may end up in a where you do not want to be ending up at all. Because they too are saying, well, she's using me. And I'm not somebody to be used. I'm going to show her. Sometimes they don't kill you, but you get to good blows and you cannot say who beat you up because
But
you get to get stretched more than anything else.
but on a serious note, clear from a man point of view, who man within his right mind, all right, would pick up a young girl with such a big age difference, you understand,
Mhm.
and expect at some point in time that things would not turn. I mean, it's not like by about, let's say, 5 years or 10 years, Now that we're talking by how much, twice time the
Mhm.
age,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
understand? So by the time this girl turn 40, he might be down in his late 60s, going on, maybe back start to bend already. I mean, like really seriously, as a man, how you expect? I mean, I just can't see. I don't know. I look at this whole thing different. Some people are saying all sorts of things, but I can't see how men want to say invest in such a way, and because you think you would have invested in that person, and what I'm saying again, some women do things not because they want to. And I was making a point to myself and Ched, and I was talking, Ched.
Mhm.
And I was saying, listen, back then, women on the plantation, right? They they had to have sex with the overseers of the land,
Mhm.
not because they wanted to. They did it against the conscience, but just because they had no means of feeding the children home. So you understand?
Mhm.
So sometimes in that situation with that young girl, who knows? Because if her mother really put out and at least she want to, she realize the value of her education. Here comes a situation. Not that she really want to. She may not have been in deep love with that person, but just the opportunity. You understand? So you as a man, I can't see how you feel because you would have done such that you could just what? Just do what you want after. I just can't see it. I just
Mhm.
can't see it.
Here is a comment. What enrages me is when they put the blame on the victim instead of taking responsibility for the behavior. And you know that happens a lot.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's the same point
Oh,
I'm
you
making.
caused me to do this. I didn't mean to do that to you. Look at what you caused.
Yeah, I mean,
You did it to me.
yeah,
So why do I have?
that is a very valid point that
I,
person.
Nancy, good morning. Thank you so much for checking in. Nancy's my neighbor in Toronto.
Yeah,
And you know, we find ourselves apologizing for things that we did not do or said because the way they make you feel is like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, but you didn't do anything, so what are you sorry for?
yeah,
And you go to the courts, and that is another thing that I cannot get. You go to the court and the courts put you back in the rape again. You know that, eh?
yeah.
As the victim, you go back in the rape form because they're asking you. So, did he ask you? Did you say yes? If I'm being raped, would you ask me if you want to be raped? Did you have an orgasm while you were having sex with him? All this kind of
Yeah,
crap they ask you to make you
yes, yeah.
feel bad, and and then when you so distraught, you say the wrong thing. Then they say, well, we do not have enough evidence to
Yeah.
send the sucker down the pipe because you said you're not sure or whatever, you know? And men just, some men, well, we're talking about men, but those that commit the crime against violence against women, some of them, they study you, you know. They know what make you tick. They know what you're afraid of. Some of them don't even have to say anything. They just have to give you the look. That's how we look at our children when they do wrong things. They give you the look. And when you go somewhere, They take you out with them, and when you go somewhere, you cannot even. They bring you out in a event, but you should not be speaking to anybody else. They put you in a corner, stay in that corner until I come back and pick you up. But don't you know that is true? No,
No, no,
you
no, no, no. I know. Yes,
Here is another comment. I believe that relationships went on for a while. Therefore, I think the parents knew about it. Of course, the parents knew about it. But again, as Justice says, sometimes some of us parents are single parents. And that should be no excuse, eh? I'm not making any excuses for them.
Yeah.
They are single parents, and they feel that if I send my daughter and he works and he makes money, then she will bring some money for me so that we can survive. Get up your backside and go and plant something in the backyard, like chive and thyme and something. Sell something. You would make it, because once people see that you're making an effort to make your life better, you will get support. Then you sit there and you send your innocent child to state a mind that is double her age and expect something better. No, you lose your child. What do you have to say for yourself?
You understand?
What do you have to say for yourself?
This is just crazy, man. Just crazy. I don't know.
And here's another comment. When you make comment like, it's not my fault, it's your fault, you wake up the beast. That's when they put in blows on you. That's when they go kill you. Because it's not, if they don't want to hear, it's not their fault. It is always my fault, not yours. So we have, as I say, we as women have to be very careful. Sometimes the flags are waving in front of us like the bull in a matador with a red cape for the bull.
Okay, as you stated before, because if that when within that scenario, if that child, child, I put that at 14,
14.
That's what I'm saying. So that purely a child, she may not even be able to think.
Well, her brain is not developed until the age of 18 fully. So that's why when she 18, she starts seeing different people.
That's what I'm
she
saying.
starts seeing he's an old man and he was my dad.
Exactly. It could be that what happening there.
And then he decide, well, I invested in you. I sent you to school. I do this and I do that. And now you want to tell me that you don't want me anymore? Then you wouldn't leave. And there are a lot of men out there that thinks that way. Just as I said, common sense is not common, because especially those that did not stay in school and they're making it out there, whichever way they're making it, and they feel they're making $2, and they're going after the young, vulnerable children of this nation and of the world. Look at the big case that is taking place in the United States now with Epstein and the files and all the young children and who on the arrest Prince Andrew that is no longer a prince and all that. These are the men that prey on young children. And especially they look at children that have parents that are weak. Didn't they say that R. Kelly, the children, the young women that he sodomized and raped and whatever, most of them are of single parents. And he gave the parents whatever it is that they need so that he could have their children and then call me daddy. Because he was their father. So besides being in the cultural part of this with the attitudes, it has socialization and normative expectations. Men are often socialized to view violence as an acceptable way to resolve conflicts or assert themselves. I'm going to number 4. The socialization can occur through various channels, including family, media, and peer groups, which may glorify aggressive behavior. So hear this now. If you are in a relationship with someone, say you are in a relationship.
Why like you come in? Don't come in.
You and I are in a relationship, and you have a few friends, and you're all sitting on the block, right? And, well, you all see me, and you all don't like me because I'm walking in style, as all you see. But the person that I have the relationship with, they're saying to him, you see what she's doing? She must have somebody on you. She's playing too nice for you and all this kind of thing. For me, I know nothing. Yeah. Next thing, I'm going through tribulation. They're getting knocked here, box here, this, that, there. Because from the peer pressure of you saying what you have to say about me, which is not true. And you the jackass that getting these things and you're not even thinking more than you come in and you're starting to abuse me. How is that possible? And who am I supposed to take this?
Of course not. Of course
But
not.
there are a lot of us that are fools, and we think it's they love us, and we would not find somebody else. There's no wrong, and I'm putting watching the camera and telling there's no wrong staying for yourself.
Fred, you know, you have someone what come from the mouth is if they man them beat them.
They
You know,
love them. And these are the
I
ones that
mean,
end up
like
in the coffin.
seriously?
They don't end up like Lacroix. There's a get pushed down the stairs and they get a
Oh
black eye and they say,
gosh.
"Oh, I was walking and I knocked my eyes on the doorknob. Oh, I do this." And because let me tell you something. Some of us have such low self-esteem, Jester, that we take anything from anyone and believe that we cannot do better. Look in my eyes and I'm telling you, you can do better. You do not need to have a spouse or a man or something in your life to make you who you are. You got to be better than this. You got to be stronger than this and know your limits and know your worth. Because when they treat you like that, it's because you're worthless to them, you know. Because if I have confidence in myself and I tell myself that I'm good, I don't think anybody could come and tell me, "Oh, you're going to give me money and you have to give me. Don't let me reach out the road and come back and you ain't have it." Where am I supposed to get it? And if I go sleep with somebody to get you the same money, when I come back, you kill me, I'm dead now because I go with someone else. Just what it is about the males or some males that does that. Yeah, I can't answer that because I'm a female. I could answer the female part
Well,
of
I
it.
can answer that too because this male here don't do it so. So it's the man block olive man I never mind that you up like old block olive. I got to answer that for you.
And the thing is that they feel powerful when they do that, you know, when the man handling the ladies or the girlfriend or whatever, they feel powerful because look, I could knock her about the place and she has nowhere to go. She has to stay there and take it. But you don't have to. All you have to do is to plan properly. You do not. You might take the blows for a few times, you know, but plan while you get in the blows. So when you move, there's nowhere on earth they could find you. And don't move and then go to your neighbor next door and they see you. Well, they come in and kill me and you together, you know. Because it's like me that take you away from them from being the punching bag. Historical and religious contents. And that a lot of religious things comes into the how women have been violently attacked. Historical traditions and religious belief have often sanctioned the control of punishment of women, framing it as a form of entitlement. This historical content can create a societal backdrop that tolerates or even encourages violence against women. So the Bible says that a woman is supposed to be in subjection or submissive to their husband. It didn't mean that if you tell me to bend down and kiss the floor that I have to. Subjection is that, yeah, I understand that you are the head of the home. But I too have choices and I too can think. So it is not submission, or it is not something when I walk and bring you the money.
Yeah, I think people take this thing
They
out
take it
of
to the
context.
wrong
Yeah,
context
yeah,
totally.
yeah.
Because if I have you as my husband, Jester, using you again, and you're not good at finance, totally not good at finance, but I am good at finance. Should I just leave the family money to you every time I get paid? You go and you gamble, you go and you make fears, as you all say, you buy drinks all over the place, you drink, and when you come, there is nothing more to. That is not, I cannot submit to that
No,
because I know I'll
no,
be suffering
no.
and I cannot subject to that. But if the one that is stronger at something will take it over and then the other person do whatever. And if you're a real man, as you're talking about real men there, you would see the benefit of this. And not saying that whether I come home with any money or not, you getting blows because you ain't not cook no food for me. You didn't provide anything for me to cook for you to eat in the first place.
Yeah, I think a lot of men have the wrong perception about this thing
Totally.
about our wives
Subjection
supposed to
and yes. And if you tell me not to move from the corner that you're putting me in, I can't move because I'm in subjection to you. That is not what it is at all.
No. That shouldn't be in that kind of way.
And a lot of people use this religion as part of this to subject their wife or so or the girlfriend and saying that you cannot do this because I am the head of the house and what I say goes my way or the highway. That cannot happen.
No, that is totally wrong.
Here's the other part. Lack of accountability. And how many people know, how many men you know that does stuff and no accountability whatsoever. They do not take account for anything that they do.
All because they're man.
Right. So societal condoning of violence against women allows, and I'm reading that slowly. Societal condoning of violence against women allows perpetrators to evade responsibility for their action. When violence is normalized or trivialized, it creates barriers for victims seeking help and perpetuates a cycle of abuse. I took that one from the United Nations. All those points that I'm talking about, I took it from the United Nations because violence against women is an epidemic. It is not. It's not only here in Grenada, not only in the Caribbean. It is worldwide, and as it says, 137 women die a day from violence from their mate, from perpetrators of pedophiles or so who think that they should not leave. That is a high number, and it could be
very high.
more based.
This is astonishing figures, man. Serious.
Yeah. So Nancy says violence is also way more than just physical. Yes. Look, a lot of us go through verbal violence.
Yeah. That's true too.
And sometimes that one is worse. Because when they tell you, look at you, nobody wants you. I ain't even want you. How does that make you feel as a person? So sometimes some people prefer to get smacked around. And they say, okay, I get the blows, I'm feeling the pain 2 days, I'll be fine. But when they attack you verbally and emotionally, you sort of lose yourself, like you have nothing to hold on to. And if we as women do not stand up and say no to the violence that is coming against us, then we are part of the problems, Because as you said, some of us say, if our man don't beat us, he doesn't love us. Tell me, how does that love equate to me, my body hurting me, and I have to be frightened?
And some women, they have the guts to say.
Here's the point. Societal influence are rooted deep in a lot of ills right now. These things have become like norms and values to some because it is no longer taboo. And this is true. Because everybody accepts it now. It's a normal thing for man to beat up woman, a normal thing for man to tell you, look at you, you this, you that, and you other. It is, and you see the thing about it. And let me tell you something. I have a problem with a lot of women, with us women in Grenada here. And I'll tell you why. Carnival is coming, as we all know, and the goose is getting fat, as they say. Right? The songs that a lot of the artists sings that it is derogatory towards women. They say all kinds of wrong things. But guess who jumps in the band and who sings it more than anything else?
Yeah, just been in the forefront. That reminds me about, in reference to what you're saying, I remember that song that came out.
Dog bedding and women bedding?
Yeah.
And women jumping behind the band singing dog bedding and women bedding. So when you idolize that person that sings that or makes that comment, what are you saying? Aren't you accepting it so that they can continue to abuse you as a woman?
Yeah. I mean, I was amazed in those years gone by, and when I see them women and them behind the truck during them days, you have Caribou show and them kind of thing, and they jumping up behind the truck. What?
The next one thing, old woman alone and taking home. Huh? All these things that women have to go through and think it's A-okay because it's just about carnival. No, it is not. Because they are attacking you personally. They are attacking me personally. And the things that I would not do or would not accept, and you accept it, you make me fall just in the same bracket as because I am a woman. So if we don't wake up and smell the coffee in reference to what these things are saying, and you're not giving yourself the attitude that I am bigger and better than this, and I'm not going to accept it, then how are we going to make the changes? When somebody is abusing you or causing violence to you, who is going to stop it? Because as it says, it is an individualistic thing. Just you beating me up, nobody can say anything. And let me tell you, people are saying that the bus stop for the young woman at the place. She wants to go. He said, no, she's not going. No one else didn't see the panic on that girl's face for her to stop the bus and come down or something. Because guess what? That is a man. Why are we putting our mouth in it? But as the going says, and I keep saying it, if you see something, say something. Not everything. Sometimes you can see somebody's body. You can read people's body, they stand up tense with the person that they stand up next to. Because they know to themselves that they're getting the blow next. And if no one says something or just play bad and say, are you okay? And she says, yes, and you hear the yes, you know that she's not okay. Call the damn police.
But what they were saying too is that the young girl did not cry out and say she's in distress. She didn't ask for help. Nothing. She
stopped the bus, yes. But you must have threatened until if you put your hand up, you're dead. But she's still dead. You see sometimes just we accept so many things in our life as a woman that everything becomes normal after that. And unless sometimes we set our bar so low that we walk in and we trip over it and we think the man that trip us is a God gift to woman. No. Time for you to wake up. You don't take your hard-earned money and support a loser. Because they are losers. Because if you're not working and you're waiting for the end of the month or at the end of 2 weeks now to come to me and say, hey, no, give me a $500 then now. I need to go get something. I have to do without that $500 and give it to you. And God knows where you're going and who you're giving it to. And you come back home and I still have to feed you and all this kind of thing. And then on top of that, if you don't get food, you want to beat me up.
They're going and gamble and all them sort of stupidness.
Tell me about it. So women, I'm telling you all out there, I'm not saying that you look for what you're getting, but start thinking differently. Start thinking differently. Start using the common sense that God gave you to think. Because let me tell you, it don't just happen like that,
No,
there are red flags that fly in front of our face, but we pretend we ain't see because we love it.
Claire, I tell you, I was making that point the last time when I was in
we get a call is coming through. Go ahead, make the point.
In Roseville. So
good morning.
Go ahead.
In Roseville.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Very timely. Fine. As you say, it's very cold, but no, it's winter.
Yes.
Yes. So, very timely topic. And I was just thinking that there are different types of abuse, right? It could be physical, sexual, emotional, financial. They're even including another one that's called neglect. And neglect is when you withhold food, medication, So I think it starts in the home, and we have to prepare young girls to recognize those forms of abuse. And as you were discussing, it starts with verbal abuse. We have to let them know what speech is acceptable. Because sometimes in a relationship, if there is a disagreement, you will find that they do not stick on the issue, but they start attacking you personally. Because that's what they know. That's how they know. I've been told that. That's how people quarrel. And they would say all kind of degrading things to you that you think that's acceptable, but it's not acceptable. But it's what they saw in their home. The speech, the way the father spoke to the mother spoke to the father, that they think that this is acceptable. But verbal abuse can turn into physical abuse. So parents, you have to live the life that you want your children to copy. You have to teach them what is acceptable and what is not. You have to empower and educate young girls that they can stand on their own and do not have to stay in an abusive relationship because they cannot take care of themselves financially. And that's one thing I am so grateful for my dad for. Two things. The way he treated our mom and the way that he made sure that 8 girls, we all had access to a good education, that later in life, whatever situation we find ourselves, if we stay in that situation, is because we wanted to and not that we have to. So whenever I think about him, I think about these two things. So that's why parents have to help girls make sure that they get a good education But in this one instance, she's trying to get a good education, but the parents also have to instill in them what is acceptable. And I'm just going to give an example of one. I was living in an apartment once. Claire, it's 1450 Shepherd.
Right.
Every weekend, the guy, the apartment underneath me, he's beaten. I don't know if they were married, but every weekend they're fighting. Now, when I couldn't take it because I'm upstairs them. At work, I typed out that and I said, if I hear you beat her again, I am going to call the police. One evening after work, I went and I slipped it underneath the door. They were living close to the steps, and I just went up the steps and I went into the apartment. I never heard him beat her again.
Because somebody spoke.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. So if we know things that are going on, we cannot just turn a blind eye, you know, because every weekend, Saturday it comes, you could hear them downstairs fighting. So I decided, no, I'm not going to let it, I'm like, I used to so feel for her because I could hear her. And I said, no, I am going to put a note underneath the door and let him know that I'm going to call, he was not going to know who called the police, that I'm going to call the police if I hear them fighting anymore. So we have to be each other's keepers.
Yes.
Every year there is a gala here. The last Saturday in March, it's called I Am Woman, I Am Enough. Last year was the first time that I went to it. I'm planning to go this year.
Is that the one that you and Jenny went?
Yes.
Okay.
Both men and women are invited, but it features mainly the women and their different talents and things that they can do. Very good.
Okay.
Because it helps to build self-esteem. It helps women to know I am enough. You don't necessarily need somebody. If you cannot be in a good relationship, it's better that you be by yourself.
Amen.
You don't have to be in an abusive relationship.
Yep.
So it all goes back to the home. We have to train, and we have to train the boys to know how to interact with girls and how to treat them in a respectful manner.
Thank you so
and I think if we start there, it will go a long way in changing. It will take a while because we have to start thinking. It will take a while, but we will get there where it's no longer acceptable for men to be violent against women, vice versa. But it's more predominantly men that are doing the violent acts. So it's a good topic. That's something that we all have to think about, and how we can help to create this atmosphere for violence-free, gender-based violence against women. So have a good day, and yes, okay.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
Yeah. So here's a comment someone made here. She says, and you all would know whether Marians would know it. She says, I've helped a woman escape a man that was pulling her by her neck to cross a main street in Toronto. She was in complete shock and wasn't saying a word. It was evident she needed help, but she was scared. What saddened me is when police came, there was no female officer to be there for her. So I made sure to stay with her as long as I could, so she had a female presence. Even with the officers there, she wouldn't speak at all. And Nancy, I'll tell you why she wouldn't speak. She is going back. And that is why a lot of us get to a debtor, Jester. And I'll tell you why. We are in situations like this. Somebody try to help the situation. The police may have come. The police may have said, okay, I'm going with one. Now, when they have violence, domestic or whatever it is, one has to go to the prison. So I'm going to go with one. Now, when the time comes, are you going to press charges? That's what the answer is.
No.
Thank you very much. No, they're not pressing charges because they are in love with the abuser. The one that caused violence against them, they're in love with that person, and they go back. In a few months or so, you will hear that cleared. Because when you call police for people like that, they don't let it go. They hold it as a grudge. And the moment they get to take you out, they will take you out. So we have to, so that's why sometimes people are skeptical to help people, because it doesn't end up properly afterward. But there's no reason for you not to help someone that you think is in need of help.
But the thing is, you don't, excuse me. If you don't want to press charges, it might be okay. But
But
just
separate.
exactly,
Go
you
about
know
your
what I mean? Yeah.
business. Here, someone said living an abuse relationship has to be a personal move. No one can force them to leave. They are aware of the danger, but they find every excuse why they shouldn't. And that is quite true. If you're abusing me, Jester, somebody could come and tell me, Nancy could come and say, Claire, why are you staying that you got to leave? Why don't you leave? I'm not leaving because maybe I have nowhere else to go and I don't feel that I'm being abused. But when you see me complaining, how he beating you up and he knocking your head here and he knocking your head there and this kind of thing like that. And I'm always saying that if you are going to leave, you got to plan to leave and plan it right. You cannot leave this week and go back next week because let me tell you when you do that, what is happening to you. He has your number. He can do you anything. And guess what? You're coming back. And then you end up dead.
One of the reasons people just give again, oh, I can leave because of the children. I've seen children come and grown, turn into adults, and yet you're still stuck in your misery.
I don't want to cut you off, but here is an important thing. Nancy did say, but I believe the officers are able to press the charges also. Lorna just says the law was changed in Ontario that once the police are involved, the charges cannot be dropped. Yes! Finally! Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Turn off your
morning.
TV.
Morning.
Turn off your TV.
Oh, hi. Good
Hi. Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning.
How how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Very interesting topic. Very interesting topic. I try not to. I really try not to comment on it, or publicly I should say, but privately I would, because to me we never know this as the person on the outside looking in. We never know the situation. We could ask the question a million times. Oh, where the parents? Where are the people to guide the young ladies? But what if they come from a broken home? What if that mother was or some victim of abuse as well, who never got the opportunity to recover from that abuse, and she went on to have children? Yes, she don't want to see her child be abused. One, but what can she do? And there's this thing now when you go say that they say your neighbor should be like to
Neighbor
run
is
to your
keeper.
neighbor to talk about it, and by the time you've come by your neighbor, the whole neighborhood knows about what is going on in your household. So we don't have they don't have the people to talk to. Nobody of that to the confidence in to keep it, but help me while you keeping my problems private. Helping me in the process. There is no help out there. I'm not saying full there is none whatsoever, but it's not being seen. So I believe that's just my opinion. Is either they looking for love because they lack that in their homes, and they trying to find something else. So they go with the older men, and then by the time they reach that age now, as you said earlier on in the program, the eye open, they see people from their age range now. And some men, as you said, they can't handle that. They don't know how to handle rejection. They don't know how to handle, hey, she don't want me anymore. Okay, leave her, let she be, and move on. You understand? So I but it's a sad thing. It's a really a sad thing that is going on in this place. And look, even though today, last night, another woman was attacked somewhere in St. George's again. Thank God a neighbor was able to take her into the home, so the man left talking about his business until the police came. Because this man might have been waking up to another news that,
Somebody
hey,
again.
another dead woman in Grenada again.
So let me ask you the
So I
question. Let me ask you a question here.
uh
You said there's no help, and if you go to the neighbors and you think it's all about it, would you prefer that I stay suffering and dead than the neighbors know that I'm suffering, and sooner or later somebody might be out there helping me out?
a lot of people prefer that.
Prefer
I'm
the
not saying
dead.
it's the best thing, but a lot of people prefer they die and than to have that embarrassment. They really prefer that. A lot of people prefer that.
Okay.
So
Thank you so very much. It's a lot to take in today.
okay.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your contribution, caller.
So
Yeah.
here is another comment. I'm telling you, comments are coming, and I'm loving. I wish I had more time. We may have to keep for 5 minutes. It says also we have to take into account that sometimes parents try with the young girls, but they do not listen. They find ways to continue the relationship without the parents knowing, and that is true. There's always a loophole to get to do what you want to do, but then at the detriment of it is what happens after that. And a lot of parents speak to the young girls that you in Toronto, you see them school finish at 1:30 or 6 o'clock, they're in the suburb with their uniform on them and playing the fool all over the place. And the parents is at work, working hard to give them what it is that they need. But they're out there and parents don't know what's going on just the same way too. And what Lorna is saying is quite true. And it happens. I know there's a mall in Toronto called Scarborough Town Center. When the children come from the school, girls, they change their clothes and put on regular clothes and they go and rip havoc in the mall.
Yeah.
So they can't, it's a rock and a hard place. But we are talking about those of us that are aware of things that are taking place in front of our faces and we're letting it pass by in the name of love. Here's another comment. If the neighbors are talking to help, if they're talking to help, then it's fine. But most times they're gossiping and it's more to the detriment of the female, which is an embarrassment. That is quite true, and I appreciate that you all are giving me all those comments because more people need to hear that we do not have a trust basis in Grenada where you can go to see a therapist and you say, well, Jester raped me, but I was pregnant and I didn't want the baby and get rid of it. By the time I leave inside and I come outside, somebody call NP, somebody call somebody else and say, listen, Claire just come out by menu. You know what she said? There's no confidentiality and that has to stop. We have to change this.
Some of that happening even with them police and
well, yes.
Yes.
So we have no confidence, and that's why people are afraid to talk. You all will come talk to me, you know. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing there so that we can find. I like always say, you don't take a bullhorn and go broadcasting to everybody and so. But there are people that are genuinely out there willing to help someone when they talk to them. And it stays there. It's between you and them, and that's it. But you see the thing about it, this social media thing that we get involved in now, Jester, it is to the detriment of all of us. And that's why I don't partake in it at all. Because gossip is something that is dangerous and it can kill people. It can do a lot of things to people. But there are people that you can talk to besides those fakes and those phonies that pretend that they're listening to you and then they spread your name over there like butter. We got to stop this. Here's another one. Listen to and believe survivors. I know it's 12 o'clock, but we got to finish this. It is so important. When a woman shares a story of violence, she takes the first step to breaking the cycle of abuse. It is on all of us to give her the safe space she needs to speak up and be heard. We are just speaking about that, eh? It is important to remember that when discussing cases of sexual violence, a victim's sobriety, clothes, and sexuality are irrelevant. So if the girl wearing short pants and midriff and so, violence against her, forget about the clothes she wears. Think about what she's going through. Forget about the clothes and if she's drunk or whatever it is. It's talking about her because she's a survivor. She's looking for help. The perpetrator is the sole reason for assault and must bear the responsibility alone. Call out victim blaming and counter the idea that it is on women to avoid situations that might be seen as dangerous by traditional standards. And that's it. We are the victim, but they make us even worse than that because the person that does it to us gets no blame because it's the way we dress and how we act that causes them to do that. They have no right to touch you. None whatsoever. So don't use it and make me the victim of it all over again. Survivors of violence are speaking out more than ever before, and everyone has a role to play to ensure they can have justice. Do not say, why did she leave? Do say, we hear you, we believe you, we stand with you. And that's what we as in society have to take up that mantra now and say, we hear what you're saying, we believe in what you believe what you're saying, and we're going to stand with you. Because too many times when somebody says something happened to them, we say she lying. That didn't happen. She making up the story. And when she dead, you hearing, she had said that, so maybe she was telling the truth. We have to stop this. We have to make sure that what they say, believe in us. And if you want to prove that you're a liar later on, it's on you. But for you to tell me that this is happening to, I've got to believe you because I'm not there. And if I see marks on you, you might be cutting yourself and say somebody are doing that. But the evidence that I see is going to make me believe that you are going through this. So in the first thing, what you have to do, tell the truth. Tell the truth. Do not lie to make somebody take trouble that you didn't do. Tell the truth, and then it will set you free because you are going to get support. Teach the generation, as Lorna was saying, teach the next generation to learn from them. The examples we set for the younger generation shape the way they think about gender, respect, and human rights. Start conversations about gender roles early on and challenge the traditional features and characteristics assigned to men and women. Point out the stereotypes that children constantly encounter, whether in the media, on the street, or at the school, and let them know that it is okay to be different. Encourage a culture of acceptance. Talk about consent, bodily autonomy, and accountability in any age-appropriate way to boys and girls. For example, discuss the importance of a clear yes from all involved. The fact your body is yours, you can make choices over what happened to it, and of how we must always take responsibility for our actions. It is important to also listen to what children have to say about the experience of the world. By empowering young advocates with information and educating them about women's rights, we can build a better future for all. And here is the thing. When we say boys will be boys, knock it off. Stop saying this because you're putting your young girls and women in danger. Freely given clear consent is mandatory every time. So if I say yes to you to have sex with you, consensual, that's fine. Rather than listening for a no, make sure it's a clear yes from all involved. Adopt clear consent in your life and talk about it. So if I say to you, no, I do not want to have sex with you, you got to hear no because I didn't say yes. And a lot of men say, oh, her mouth saying yes, my mouth saying no, but her body saying yes. How the heck you going to say that? You don't know what is inside my body. Don't come and tell me my mouth saying no and my body saying yes. I said no and it's no. And it's when you say no, it's when you get raped. Because they feel that your body saying yes, you want them more than they want more than anything else. So they take advantage of that. But as it says, make it a clear yes and a clear no. That's it. Hear it. Phrase like, she was asking for it. You hear that a lot, eh? Or boys will be boys. Attempt to blur the lines around sexual consent. Placing blame on victims and excusing perpetrators from the crimes they have committed. So if I'm asking for it. So if you hold me down and you have sex with me, I asked for it. So there should be no accountability for that. Because I asked for it. You see why you see yeah, because you see I say no, but my body saying yes. You see why Lorena Bobbitt cut out her husband's penis and threw it out the window? Because she said no. And he want yes, you want to have sex with us, she cut it out flying and threw it out the window. That's what the drastic measures some women take when you say no and they want to tell you yes. While those that use these lines may have fuzzy understanding of consent, the definition is crystal clear. When it comes to consent, there are no blurred lines. When you consent, you have to be consensuous. That means consent does not mean that there is not exploitation. You need a part 2 of that. So I need a part 2 of that. We're going to do it again after that on that one. So, in conclusion, oh no, here, let me do this one too. Learn the signs of abuse and how you can help. There are many forms of abuse, and all of them can have serious physical and emotional effects. If you're concerned about a friend who may be experiencing violence or feel unsafe around someone, review these signs and learn about the ways to help them find safety and support. If you think someone is abusing you, help is available. You are not alone. If you would like to talk with a trained advocate at a helpline, You can call a helpline, but we're not sure because here in Grenada, everybody knows everybody. So even though on the helpline, I might answer it and hear your voice, and I say, "Oh, Jester, just call the helpline." So your wife beating him up in River Sally there. That gone out. Jester yellow. Jester you can fight your wife. Jester is a chicken. So you see, with the confidence again, we do not have that. So in conclusion, understanding the causes of men's violence against women requires a multifaceted approach that considers the interplay of societal norms, cultural attitudes, and individual behaviors. Addressing these root causes through education, policy changes, and community engagement is essential for preventing violence and promoting gender equality. Efforts to transform social norms and empower women are crucial in creating a safer environment for all. By tackling these issues, we can work towards reducing violence against women and fostering healthier relationships between genders. It was a tough one. It was a hard one, but it was one that we had to be done, Jester. Because too many of us as women are being abused by our spouse, by people in the community, by perpetrators, by pedophiles, too many of us. And we have to wake up. Pay attention when you're walking around you. Pay attention around you because you never know who is watching you and where they're watching you from to attack you. Let me say, last comment. Many men are never taught how to process rejection, handle shame, communicate vulnerability, regulate anger. So emotions like hurt, insecurity, or fear get expressed as anger or violence. And that is true. And as we come to the end of the program, we'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you for chiming in, for the comments that you made, and for calling in so that we can really learn more and more about things and get better at it. Because this one, the two women that died 2 weeks apart from each other, it shook our nation. And this is why I asked the question, what causes some men to commit violence against women? Not all men, some. But the some that are committing the violence are too many of the some. We got to get our lives together. We got to know when the red flag is waving in front of us, pay attention to it. And we got to stop saying that if my man don't beat me, he don't love me. Knock it off. Because you will end up 6 feet under with that love that he beating you with it. Because he could give you one blow in your head and that is the end of your story. One. He doesn't have to beat you up all over the place. One knockout and you're gone. So continue to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so that we can get bigger and bring more fruitful topics to you. And if you have one, send it to us. We'll discuss it and research it and come here with it so that we all can learn from them. Because as I said, I went to the United Nations and I went to World Health Organization to do this. Thank you all so very much for coming on board with us today. You're welcome, Carolyn. Oh, Carol, sorry. And I'll see your sister later. Take care. Jester?
Bye to our listeners and viewers, but let me just emphasize in ending to our men out there. If you think that you're going to invest money in a woman and tell yourself you're going to that's your personal piece of property, you could pick up your wallet and put it in your back pocket, or you could pick up a piece of gold and move around with it. That is not the way. Better you not invest in more. Because listen what, there is no guarantee that any relationship will last a lifelong time. Yeah, people that married for 30 years, 40 years, even 50 years and still end up coming and break up. There is no guarantee that will happen. So you cannot be thinking that kind of way, that because you feel that you would have spent some money putting into some form of development of the female, and because she see things a different way now, you feel you could just take her out like that. I cannot support that at all. Yeah. This is just ridiculous. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to stop that stupidness as men. Because we all have, guess what? We come from a mother, we come from a female. A lot of us, we have our sisters, we have nieces, and no, I mean, how can we accept that? No.
Thank you so very much for that last thought. Thank you. And thanks all. We'll say bye now and see you on next week Tuesday.
Oh, wake up, it's a brand new day. Got some things I need to say. Feeling heavy, you're not alone. Come take 5, you're in.